I am Margaret Nill's daughter, and this is a story about my journey to America from 1869 to 1870. Dear Diary, I am Margaret Nill's daughter. I'm named after my great-grandma. I have two older sisters, Karen, who is 17, and Ingeborg, who is 12. I'm 9. I used to have a younger brother named Alok, who sadly passed away 2 years ago at the age of 4. Today we found out that we are moving to America. Last year, one of our friends went to explore and wrote letters talking about the fertile, free land and many job opportunities. We will leave Sweden on a boat and sail across the Atlantic to the new land, America. Father is worried about robberies and disease on the boat. We currently live in Vengen, Sweden, which is directly west of Stockholm. I hope the journey will be safe and comfortable. Dear Diary, Mother and Father said we have to start getting packed. My sisters and I are only allowed one trunk. I decided to bring a locket with a picture of my grandmother inside. I couldn't bring more than 2 pairs of clothes for the journey. I also decided to pack a straw horse that we put out at Christmas. Mother is bringing a spinning wheel, a chair, bedding, and of course, clothes. I believe Father is bringing some small tools and clothes. My grandparents are too old to make the journey, so we will be leaving them behind. We will take a train to the seaport city, which is Gothenburg. We will then travel north of Scotland and cross the Atlantic Ocean. I think it will take about 2 miles to cross the Great Ocean. Dear Diary, Mother and Father said we can't make it to Minnesota before winter. We will stop here in the La Crosse area and we'll finish our journey in the spring. The families pooled the money we brought with us, and together we had enough to buy 2 cows, 2 oxen, and 2 covered wagons. Father and the other men built 2 Indian huts from branches and bark. We will live in those until our log house is finished. It is late in the fall, so we will only have time to build a one-room house for all 4 families. During the day, the girls and women will gather food for the long winter. This is an important job because it will provide us food for the winter. We have made friends with the Indians. Even though we will have all the families in a one-room house, we'll be safe and warm in our first house in America for the winter. Dear Diary, we finally made it to Minnesota. We now own our own land, unlike in our old country. You don't have to share a small house with other families. I miss seeing my cousins every day when we were traveling. They still live in the same area as us, though. We live in Dablo, Minnesota. It turns out that we are the first Vengen, Sweden people to live in the Dablo wilderness. While we were traveling to Minnesota, we got robbed, just as Father had worried, even though we kept watch day and night. One of our first tasks was to build a church. The church is nearly finished now, and it looks great. The hardest part has been learning English. I really miss my grandmother back in Sweden, but I love America more than I ever thought I would. And then this is my family tree. There's a really cool fact. So my dad's name was Nils, and so daughter of. So I'm the daughter of Nils, so it's Nils' daughter. And we couldn't find anything on my dad's side, because it's a true story. And so we just decided to make up names that were from my mom's side. And we only went back to my great-grandmother because it was sort of hard to find everything else. So we found that. And then this is not in Swedish or anything, but it's an old Bible. This is a Swedish horse handmade out of straw, and then a lot of our ornaments over half of our ornaments at Christmas are from Sweden. So we have a lot of straw angels, and mainly a lot of angels because they are very religious there. is the chair that they brought from Sweden. And then this is my great-great-great-great-grandmother. And then this is the locket that they brought with them in Sweden. And then this is the spinning wheel that they brought with them too. And someone would sit right here and they would spin all the clothes and all the stuff. Yeah. This is handmade in my family. It's from the generation before, but I think it was made in Sweden, and it's like